All right, all right. Welcome back, everybody, to the Nosebleed Show from the Nosebleeds. Welcome back to the Nosebleed section. And as you guys know, this is it. This is the sixth installment of live reaction, or I guess replay reaction, whatever you want to call it, of post Cleveland Browns. So this is the channel's post game Cleveland Browns show. So if you watch the game, you should know that I am not enthusiastic whatsoever about the Cleveland Browns losing and, let's be honest, embarrassing fashion to the Pittsburgh Steelers, losing 23-9. This was a AFC North belt to ass game, and they end up losing 23-9 to go 1-5 on the year, which is kind of crazy if you guys been watching since the very beginning, since the very beginning of the season. You guys know I kind of predicted that the Browns would go 1-5. I said there was a strong possibility that the Cleveland Browns could go 1-5, and unfortunately, that possibility has become reality for us. So, if I don't sound enthusiastic, I'm not. What is there to be enthusiastic for? What is there to be excited for? What is there to be anything? What is there to look forward to, right? And I know what this organization is doing. Like it's been this way since they announced the stadium. They're just building towards the new stadium, like putting a product onto the new stadium. Now and I know I'm not the first person to say that. I know I'm not the first person to think that way, but it is becoming very, very prevalent, very more obvious of what they're doing. We know about the rumors of them wanting to sell um, the roster. We know about them ready to up the ante on the cap space. We know about these things. So essentially, what the Browns is doing, they're tanking. They're tanking, and there's probably a reason why Barry doesn't feel like his job is not safe. Kevin Stefanski probably don't feel like his job is not probably feels like his job is safe. So I think we're entering into a tank. I think we're entering into a full rebuild. They trade Greg Newsom overnight. At like 10:30 at night, the news broke that they traded Newsom for uh for a draft pick and for Campbell. We know about that. We know about them trading away Flacco to the Cincinnati Bengals for a fifth round pick. We know that Njoku contract is up, I believe, this year. Teller contract year, but Tonio's going to retire more than likely. So we know that these pieces are in place. We know that this is a team that is getting ready for the 2029 NFL season, which means that us Cleveland Browns fans for the next 4 years, the next 2 to 4 years, will have to endure pure losing, plain and simple. But at least, can we at least look decent trying to lose? Like, I'd rather watch bread rise. I'd rather watch paint dry. I'd rather watch a cucumber grow in a home garden. So here's what we're gonna do. We're gonna go around the scores of the league. If it did, and by the way, I forgot to do this. Welcome. We're on the road to 100 subscribers. We are 11 away, so please hit that subscribe button, like, share, comment, and all those good things. Hit that notification bell so you guys can get the notifications for when this show is live. But what we're gonna do is we're gonna go around the scores of the NFL, and then we're gonna change things up a bit. Usually we do Kevin Stefanski last. We're gonna do Kevin Stefanski pause. We're gonna do the Kevin Stefanski press conference first. So we're gonna cover that first, and then we're gonna talk about the game. So if this is your first time here, welcome. If you guys are like coming back, welcome back. Um, Browns lose 23-9. There's no ifs, ands, or buts about it. And also, what I'm gonna do, I'm probably gonna do this tonight, is record the state of the channel as a thank you to everybody who has stopped in and popped in. And we're gonna start doing more content that's not NFL, because lately it's just been about Browns post game and then NFL rankings and all that other stuff. And if you guys watched the rankings video, you know I was kind of high on the Browns. But that was just my fandom showing out. I knew the Browns were going to lose this game. Anytime the Browns visit Pittsburgh outside of a playoff game, it is a guaranteed loss, right? So let's go ahead and go around the scores in NFL. Detroit and Kansas City is coming on at about an hour from now. As we mentioned, the Browns lose 23-9. Denver beat the New York Jets 13-11 in the London game. Boy, oh boy, that the London fans, citizens should attack the United States of America just for us sending that game to them. They should become the enemy of the state just for us sending that game as punishment. The Colts beat the Cardinals 31-27. The Rams take care of business 17-3 against the Ravens. The Seattle Seahawks win against the Jacksonville Jaguars 20-12. Chargers beat out the Dolphins 29-27. The Panthers beat the Cowboys 30-27. New England beat New Orleans 25-19. The Raiders get their second win of the year with a 20-10 victory against the Titans. The Buccaneers beat the 49ers 30-19. What a performance by our former franchise quarterback. Isn't that freaking lovely? The Cincinnati Bengals do not go into Green Bay and make the upset. Green Bay wins 27-19. And we know about the New York Giants putting belt to ass on the Philadelphia Eagles 34-17. Houston and Minnesota had bye weeks. And that is pretty much it. Let's go over the stats for the Cleveland Browns game. Get Dillon Gabriel. And this is another thing. And didn't realize this just now. Your rookie quarterback, second game in. And by the way, we're drinking alcohol, baby. Jack Daniels, their Mike's Hard version, whatever you want to call it. We're drinking this. We're drinking on the live broadcast because this is what we've come to. I'm throwing a cap back there. Who gives a shit, right? Because this is what the Cleveland Browns has come to. Drinking on live. Because we got to have some type of alcohol before we talk about the Stefanski-isms and all this other shit. But Dillon Gabriel, 29-52. You have Gabriel pass 52 freaking times. I did not realize it was that much. Like, I knew it was a high number with all the dropbacks and everything. But Stefanski just abandons the run against Pittsburgh. Didn't give Quinshon Judkins a chance to succeed. Didn't give any of these guys a chance to succeed. Dillon Gabriel, man. I can't fault this dude. I'm trying to be patient because everybody's like, Shedeur time. If you guys go back a couple of weeks ago, even 3 weeks ago, when everybody was saying, hey, we should actually start Dillon Gabriel over Joe Flacco when Flacco was still on the team. If you guys go back, I sat back and said, why would we want to start one of these rookie quarterbacks when we don't have a good offense line? This is before the Cam Robinson trade. This is before London. We don't have a good offensive line. We don't have the wide receivers that we have. We're gonna get a quarterback that's gonna rely on two rookie running backs. That's gonna rely on Jerome Ford. That's gonna rely on a rookie tight end, and that's gonna rely on David Njoku. Why would we set up our quarterbacks for failure? That's exactly what the fucking Browns are doing. They're gonna try to sell you that, we're trying to figure it out and figure out who our quarterback is. When in actuality, they are sabotaging and destroying these quarterbacks. That's exactly what the Cleveland Browns do. That's exactly what the Cleveland Browns are doing currently, and that's what they will continue to do. Dillon Gabriel was sacked 6 times. Dillon Gabriel got hit more than 6 times. Dillon Gabriel has continuously been set up for failure, whether it's our wide receivers, whether it's this offensive line, whether it's this coaching, whether it's this play call, whatever you want to call it. Our special teams, holy shit, I hate this special teams. I'm so tired of Ray Patrone. I'm so tired of Kevin Stefanski. 52 times to the quarterback that started his second game. And I know some people have the philosophy of, well, we gotta throw our rookie quarterbacks into the fire, this, that, and third. This is not a situation where you throw your rookie quarterbacks into the fire, right? This is not that situation. This is a situation where you need a veteran quarterback, which Bailey Zappi is not the veteran quarterback you're looking for. Like a true veteran quarterback, like a Joe Flacco that you just traded away to help these guys. Even if you make Flacco the third string, just have him in that freaking locker room makes a big difference. But Quinshon, 12 carries. Fenton, our leading receiver, is our 3rd round tight end draft pick. 7 catches, 81 yards. McDrops had 1 good play that went back because of illegal formation. Surprise, surprise. What a disciplined team. Jerry McDrops, 5 catches. Whoop the fucking do. He gets paid to be the number one guy. 13 targets for David Njoku, and you come up with some drops, some incompletes. Just I can't. Like the only play where I'm like that wasn't Mick Drop's fault was the wide open pass that Dylan Gabriel missed. Like he just straight up missed Mick Drops. Outside of that, dude, he fucking sucks. I don't want to hear no more of this. Put him to the slot. I don't want to hear no more of this. If we move him over and try to get somebody else and all this other jive BS that everybody's talking about, that we have a chance, right? Like we have Isaiah Bond, right? And he's clearly the number 2 wide receiver with Cedric Tillman out, right? And we don't use him. 2 catches for Isaiah Bond. For Pittsburgh, Aaron Rodgers, 21 to 30. 235, 2 tutties. Jalen Warren, 11 carries, 52 yards. DK Metcalf, 4 catches, 95 and a tutty. Darnell Washington felt like he had more than 3 catches. The first play to wide open like it was nothing. So we're going to go over the Kevin Stefanski-isms. That's what we're going to call the Kevin Stefanski press conference now. We're going to call it the Stefanski-isms or the Stefanskis, whatever you want to call it. We're going to go over the Kevin Stefanski-isms. We're going to go over just the scoring plays. We're not going to make this a long live today. This should last no more than an hour and 20, an hour 10. I don't even want this to last an hour. And this is kind of like the same thing that we did with Minnesota. This is more of the state of the Cleveland Browns. This is more of what is going on with Cleveland. This is more of being sick and tired of being sick and tired of being sick and tired and trying to essentially, this is therapy. This is therapy for me. This is therapy for everybody watching. This is therapy for the entire city of Cleveland, right? This is therapy. This is a therapy post-game show because losses suck, right? But there are certain losses that like hurt worse than the others, right? Like this is one of those. The Baltimore game was another one earlier this year. Like losing these division games, like 0-3 in the division, there is no playoffs. We know that. We know that there's no playoffs. We know there's not even a chance at the playoffs. We might get this win against Miami next week, but we know that this is not it. So I want this comment session to be full today. Like I don't really demand as much, but I would love to hear from you guys because this is a therapy session. Like there is no way that we can keep doing this without like getting this emotion out. Like we have come to the point where we have suppressed this emotion to complete and utter numbness. So we're gonna go over the Stefanski-isms. We're gonna have a therapy session, and then that's it. That's it. Because until this team improves, until this team gets better, they don't deserve to be talked about in the game. I mean, we already know what the hell happened, right? We got to drink. We got to drink. And I'm not promoting alcoholism, but the Cleveland Browns find a way to promote alcoholism. They're not sponsored, by the way. I just want to show off what I'm showing off what I'm drinking, but not a sponsorship whatsoever. I'm not Jack Daniels. Damn, I only got 5 people watching this shit, but I appreciate you guys watching very, very much. And please share, because we on the road to 100. So, Stefanski-ism time, baby. Let's go. We're going to do it in reverse. Pause. Stefanski-isms.
Cam Robinson has a knee injury. Jack Conklin, Gage are in the concussion protocol. Joe Tryon has a hip injury. Yeah, you can't do those things and expect to go on the road and win, and just frustrated to not play clean football on offense, defense, and special teams. Just can't do it on the road.
It's probably going to change because
versus a good football team, and we got to get it fixed because – you know, before you start winning, you got to stop losing. We're doing some things right now that are preventing us from winning.
Did y'all hear that? And before we got to start winning, we got to stop losing. Hey, when are we going to stop losing? 4-19 since 2024. Since that Houston Texans playoff game, 4-19. So can we start winning here? The damn Browns audio can't even get their shit right. First 5 seconds, there's no audio. Like, what is this organization, man? Yeah, I'm bitching about everything. I am bitching about everything because that's what we're doing today.
So we'll get it fixed. With that, I'll take any questions.
What's the number one thing offensively?
Well, yeah, I don't think it's as simple as that, Zach. Obviously, today we weren't able to run the ball effectively. And then got behind there in the second half. 0 for 3 in the red zone. I know those were 2-minute drives, a lot of them, but we gotta find a way to score points. Got to run the ball efficiently. Got to find a way to be better in the pass game. All of the above.
Was something the Steelers did that you couldn't run, or was it something else?
Yeah, I mean, obviously give credit to your opponent, but we just we got to do a better job.
I'm sorry, but running it a grand total of less than 20 times in the game, when we know what Quinshon Judkins looked like, when we know that Quinshon can run the ball, when we know that Quinshon doesn't really need a good offensive line to make production happen, and relying on your rookie quarterback, your third-round rookie quarterback in his second start to throw for 52 passes, that has very little to do with the Pittsburgh Steelers. That has everything to do with your fucking coaching. Outside of saying we're going to fix it because I'm sick and tired of that Kevin Stefanski is. We're going to fix it. We're going to work on it. You need to do your damn job. Abandoning the run where you're only down by 6 is egregious.
Is there any thoughts maybe getting a hold on these, trying to oversee some of their offense and get it back on track?
Yeah, there's a lot of things that we need to do better, and obviously I'll look at all things.
So you will consider.
There's a long list of things we got to do better.
There's a long list of things you got to do better. Shut up.
Dylan was basically beat up this whole entire game. Hit 16 times, six times. He really didn't have much of a chance. So many of his passes were dropped.
Yeah.
Can you just talk about what a tough road that was coming out there today?
Yeah, he's a tough kid. We got to keep him clean. Obviously, when the game turns into how it turned, a 2-score game, you have to drop back, and that's a tough team to drop back versus. But he kept battling. Wasn't for a lack of effort by him or by anybody. Made some plays, but we just got to be better.
So y'all just heard that. This is not a team you want to drop back that many times. So why did you coach the game for it to be that many times? Why did you coach the game? By the way, fair use. But why did you coach this game to where Dylan Gabriel dropped back 58 times, right? Because he threw it 52 times. He got sacked 6. So let's do simple math, right? We're not even going to include any penalties that happen. 58 times Dylan Gabriel dropped back to pass against a defense you just admitted that you should not drop back, and it's a tough time dropping back. So why did we abandon the run? I know Pittsburgh is a good run defense, but why did we abandon the run? Why did we not tire them out? We were down only by 6 points most of the damn game.
You learned something from the game like that?
Yeah, I think you learn in every game, win, lose, or draw. And obviously, we know this kid's.
Sorry to cut you off, Kevin. We're not learning shit. We're not learning a damn thing. We're not learning. What are we learning here? How to lose even more? What are we learning here? Because it ain't winning. It's not improving. It's nothing. When your leading receiver is your third-round rookie tight end, we have bigger problems.
Tough. We know he's tough. He's going to keep fighting. We just got to, around him, make some plays. We got to coach him up. We got to be better in getting our guys in position. All the above.
Kevin Stefanski is mad. We got to do better at getting in position. We got to do better at coaching. We got to do better at coaching these guys up. There is no coaching Jerry Jeudy. There is no coaching Jerry Jeudy. And for people that, and I want to address this real quick, for the people that's shitting on the defense, I get it. Like, the defense hasn't played as bad. One, if you look at Jim Schwartz's history while he's been here, the defense has not played good on the road. They're not a good road defense. Like, they're an exceptional home defense. Like, this defense feeds off the home crowd. They haven't had that in 2 weeks. But it also hurts when your offense plays like this to the point where you rely too much on your defense and your special teams don't set you up neither.
Kevin, how do you think Tyson did in his first game? Obviously, you looked to touchdown from Jared. Was there any thought about maybe like playing Denzel to get a little bit more response to that pressure off of Tyson in his first game?
Yeah, I thought Tyson, did a good job considering when he got on campus, got him up to speed. Obviously, they have a great player over there, made a play, but really was pleased with how he was able to get up to speed in this game.
Just the spirit of any more than did you ever think about this game?
No, yeah, we were just trying to fight there till the end.
You know he was not even gonna go near no, and I wouldn't want Shador out there. For the people that Shador needs to be out there over Dylan Gabriel, look at Exhibit A of this freaking game. Look at Exhibit A of this game of why it does not matter if you put Shador, if you put Peyton Manning, if you put Tom fucking Brady, if you put Phillip Rivers, if you put Dylan Gabriel, if you put Brett Favre, if you put Aaron Rodgers, if you would have put Warren Moon, if you would have put Randall Cunningham, if you would have put Fran Tarkenton back there. It doesn't matter. It doesn't matter when your offensive line plays like shit. When your offensive line has 12 different combinations in 6 games. In 6 games, it doesn't matter who you have at quarterback.
I think you only had 6 penalties, but it felt like
Costly.
really good.
Yep, they were.
How disappointed? How do you? I guess.
Yeah, very disappointed. The first Jerry's a leader for us, type thing, and we preach that, we teach that.
Jerry who? Jerry McDrops is a fucking leader. Oh, get the fuck out of here.
We can't do that, and those are real yards that are hard to overcome. So we have to be better. Got to again. It gets to the point of need to make sure you're playing clean. Then give yourself a chance. It's hard when you make life harder on yourself.
He's been making life harder on the Cleveland since he fucking got here. He really has. Like, there's nothing more to say. I don't give a shit about the 15-yard penalty that Jerry Jeudy did. Whoa, whoop the fucking dude. Those plays happen all the time, right? It's all about who get caught last. But the drops, that BS, his inability to create separation, his lack of leadership, because you can tell he has no leadership. He doesn't have leadership in his bones. My 1-year-old son has more leadership than him in his pinky finger. It's egregious. It's egregious that we have to keep watching this BS, and you're going to try to hype. I get it. As a coach, you want to stick up for your players, right? You want to give them that confidence, but he is. This is ridiculous. This is ridiculous.
You've talked about how drops haven't been an issue in practice, but they're out there again today. What are you seeing? I guess contributes to that.
Just got to keep working.
No,
Nothing technically. Just got to keep working.
How would you assess Dylan's second start?
Yeah, like we talked about, I think he was battling. Obviously, not good enough offensively, and that's players and coaches, but he was battling.
You set up your rookie quarterback for failure. There is no ifs, ands, or but about. Yeah, he has to battle. He's not battling against the Pittsburgh Steelers. He's not battling against the Pittsburgh Steelers. He's battling against you, Kevin Stefanski. That's who he's battling with. He's not battling with the city of Cleveland. He's not battling against TJ Watt and this shit offensive line. He's battling against a head coach who cannot set up his players for success, who cannot lead his players up. Hey, mind you, for all you Kevin Stefanski supporters, which is dwindling by the second, for all of you saying he's going to get a job somewhere else, that's why we should keep him 2-time coach of the year. This is why. This is why. Yes, Kevin Stefanski would get a job anywhere. You know who else got a job somewhere else? Cam Cameron. If you people, that's a heavy pull for the old school football fans. Cam Cameron got another job. Ron Marinelli got another job. Hugh fucking Jackson got another fucking job. So what is the point of that defense? Oh, wait, there is none. The Genius put up 9 points.
Specifically the tackle situation. It seems like every time you think you got the answer solved or look toward a solution, another problem creates. Just how frustrating is it, and where do you go from here to try to?
Yeah, we'll just coach up the guys we got. Obviously, we know injuries are a part of this game, Chris, and we expect the guys that are out there to go perform. But
who you coaching up? You about to sell the whole roster. Teller and Njoku. If it's expiring contract, almost expiring contract, they're trading them up. We're gonna talk about it afterwards.
We get them coached up.
When you look at your roster, all the rookies.
By the way, fair
out
use.
there today, you guys just are going to have to go up fast against teams like this and just deal with just the aggressive physical nature of these games.
Yeah, I think, our young players, Mary Kay, like we've talked about, they all work very hard. They're going to make young mistakes because they're young players, but really like how that group battles. So they will only get better.
Kevin, looking where you kind of self out, what do you need to do better for an offense that having split second points?
Yeah, all of the above.
All the above.
Name something. We got to do it better.
He said, name something that we got to do better. Jerry can catch the ball. Offensive line play, your coaching, your play calling, firing Ray Vitrome, firing Paul DePodesta, running the ball for once, for God's sake. Get younger talent. Let's see. You can pass the ball better. You can call up better schemes to get better separation. Our wide receivers can't get separation whatsoever. Trade Jeremy Jeudy while you still have at least some type of value for him. Do I need to go on the list on what you need to do better? Matter of fact, how about you get fired and we can do a little bit better? How about that? Wow, I just named a bunch of shit, Kevin Stefanski.
Just how, can you put into words just how disappointing, frustrating, upsetting it is to come in here and have this kind of a game, this kind of a level?
Yeah, this is the NFL. We have to be better, and that's the we. I have to be better for this football team. Our coaches have to be better for this football team. Our players have to be better for this football team. But bottom line is, there's things that will hold you back from winning, and you got to knock those out so you give yourself a chance.
I wonder how many players have been here, like over the last year or two, is sick and tired of hearing that shit. I wonder if the rookies are tired of hearing that shit already. Like, what is better? What is better when you can't produce better? You can't even get a sniff of what is better. You can't even get an eighth of what is better. Because we don't have the ability to do it. Not at least under the Kevin Stefanski regime. But like I said, he gets fired. Barry got to go too. And Paul DePodesta, chief strategy officer of football operations, fuck off. He needs to go too. But what is better when they can't sniff better? And he's like, yeah, we play in the NFL. Y'all the only motherfuckers that look like y'all don't even play in the NFL. I have coached against peewee teams with better offensive scheme, play calling, and clock management without all the technology and having to rely on the referee's wristwatch as time. Better than what you've done over the last 2.5 to 3 years. Yes, I am including 23. Yes, I'm including pretty much your entire regime. So I asked you, Kevin Stefanski, that none of the Cleveland media is willing to ask you, because they're a bunch of pansies as well. They're a bunch of pussies and not knowing how to ask questions. What does better look like to you? What is better to you? And better yet, why do you think you deserve the job that you have? Why do you think you've earned your job going 4-19 over the last 2 years? These are questions they're not asking. Why did you force your rookie quarterback to drop back 58 times? Why only give your rookie running back, who has been performing well since he came into the game week 2, week 3? Why are you only forcing him to run it 12 times? Why did you abandon the run when we were only down by 6 in the third quarter? These are questions that are not being asked. We're asking the same thing about Shedeur. We're asking the same thing about what we felt like during this and what we felt like during that. Why are we not asking the hard-hitting questions? And I don't even feel like my questions are hard-hitting, but compared to the Cleveland media, they're hard-hitting. Ask these questions of why this man's job is not on the line. Why does he feel like his seat is not hot?
Where do you just think of his growth in his first games?
Yeah, another young player that we're counting on. We trust him. Does a nice job in these games. Obviously, we have a ton of confidence in him as well.
Well, even though you have a lot of rookies this year, Kevin, there's a lot of guys who've gone 4-19 over the last 23 games. How concerned are you about keeping those guys with the program?
Yeah, we're focused on what's in front of us, Tony. I understand the question, but our team's focused on what they got in front of them.
Do you think there's a risk when you keep talking to Jerry Jeudy or Jerry Judy keeps reading more and hearing more about the drops, and it just kind of feed on itself after a while?
Yeah, he's been playing this game for a long time. I think he's got great confidence. I have a ton of confidence in him. Ball's going to keep coming his way.
And then, with how teams gone 1-5, offense obviously got their strength levels, how do you just sort of go about keeping things positive?
Yeah, I think with our football team, yeah, I know we have young players, but we have a bunch of veterans that understand what we have in front of us. They understand, we're not in the business of looking behind. We're just not. We got to focus on what's in front of us.
Roughing clean, where Dylan's head kind of bounced off the turf. Was there, were you surprised that they didn't do some kind of concussion?
I did not see the result of the penalty, but I did not see the play.
Did you see the running into the punter?
Yes. Yeah. It's hard.
He don't know. That was a defining play. That play opened up everything. It opened up everything because that was their first drive. That was their first drive of the second half, and we got a 3-and-out. Defense does his job. Right? I thought it was a little egregious, if you ask me. That's the penalty, but like at the end of the day, it was like he more got shoved into the punter, but they're gonna call that every time. And once again, Kevin Stoansky. I'm gonna figure out a shitty nickname for him. No emotion, just stoicism.
How do you prevent the younger players from learning the wrong habits, taking the right lessons from this stretch?
Yeah, I think like we talked about, you learn, win, lose, or draw, and it's frustrating in these moments, of course. But I got guys in there that understand what's in front of us. They understand the things that we have to clean up, and we got leadership on the football team that will bring the young guys along.
I'm trying to figure out where the leadership is. Again, I don't think it's Jerry Judy. You're going to sit back and say it's Jerry Judy for us, but we're not stupid. It's not Jerry Judy. We know, us Browns fans know that it's not Myles Garrett. So who are the leaders? I think Schlesinger is going to be that leader one day, but he's not that guy right now. Dylan Gabriel's not a leader. Who's the leader here? Njoku? And that's no offense to Njoku, but I haven't heard anything about him being a leader in the locker room. I can see Batonio and maybe Wyatt Teller, but Batonio, he's like, dude, he's. I think Batonio is just like, look, I'm ready for week 18. I'm ready for the final whistle of week 18. And I'm taking my ass to Cancun for the rest of my life.
With Dylan, do you worry a little bit with rotating or tackle and the drop issues that could be hurting him to be in a bad environment?
Yeah, we just he's got to operate regardless of what's going on around you. Their injuries are a part of every football team. So, yeah, he's just got to keep continuing to stack these games, stack these reps.
Two more. Say about how Aaron Rodgers operated, got rid of the ball quickly, did everything that you guys probably did.
Right. Yeah. Great player. Obviously, they again, give them credit. Give their offense credit, their defense credit. They did a nice job. But he was accurate throughout the day, made plays, did a good job.
So there is the Kevin Stefanskism. There's Stefanskism at full swing. Yeah. So Browns lose 23-9. Let's go over some of the scoring plays here. Boswell hit a 44-yard field goal. That was at the Darnell. Well, this got set up primarily because of Darnell Washington with that catch on the first play. We know about Jerry McDrops getting a 15-yard penalty. That was talked about. Special teams sucked ass. They let a 47-yard return happen that could have really been more disastrous, but it got called back due to a blindside block, which I kind of hate that rule. I think a lot of people are not fans of that. It was 3-0 at the end of the first quarter. I feel like our front seven is good. Again, our front seven is real good. I thought Campbell played well, especially like him coming in Thursday, learning a new system. I thought he played DK as best as he could. And that's kind of another thing I don't like about Jim Schwartz. He does not put Denzel Ward on the best wide receiver at each team. I don't know why is that the case? Because even before the Campbell trade, Newsom was primarily on the number one guy. So I don't get why we don't have Denzel Ward on the best receiver of every single team. Like it doesn't comprehend to me. Boswell hit a 50-yard field goal. Pittsburgh used their tight ends very well in this game, with Fairmouth and Juno and all those guys. Boswell didn't hit a 48-yard field goal. Up until that end of the half drive, the Browns only had 34 total offensive yards. That ended in the Schmidt 31-yard field goal, 9-3. Let's go to the third quarter. We're only going over scoring plays. Browns second half, start out the second half with a 3-and-out. Team is undisciplined. We know about that run into the punter, which led to Aaron Rodgers to Connor Hayward for an 11-yard touchdown pass. That made it 16-3. That was an 11-play, 6-minute drive. And I believe that was Pittsburgh's first drive of the half. Gabriel, I would say this about Gabriel too. Gabriel had a lot of hospital balls. Like, I know, like, I got on Stefanski about a lot of shit, but Dylan Gabriel did not play a good game at the end of the day. Like, there's a reason why Pittsburgh had a good amount of injuries on the defensive side of the ball. It's because Gabriel was just throwing it up there like, I don't know. It was kind of rough. I was like, oh, like somebody's gonna end up in the hospital with Dylan Gabriel throwing those passes, man. It was like that throughout the entire game. I even put like defense had a hard time stopping the nosebleed today for the most part. No pun intended. Aaron Rodgers hit DK Metcalf on a 25-yard touchdown. That was pretty much the end of their scoring. It was 23-9. Gabriel probably should have had 10 probably should have had like 4 or 5 interceptions today. Gabriel was lucky to only have 0. No touchdowns. This team is miserable. I mean, there's nothing much to say. Gabriel missed Judy wide open. Gabriel got sacked in back-to-back plays. Gabriel kept throwing bad footballs. He's lucky that Pittsburgh cornerbacks cannot catch to save their lives. Boswell 54. It would have been 26-9, but Boswell slipped on the 54-yard field goal, which he would have probably drilled, no doubt about it. Just bad throws all the way around by Dylan Gabriel. Pittsburgh win 23-9. Gabriel sacked 6 times. We know about the negatives, special teams, Kevin Stefanski, Dylan Gabriel, and on a lot of the passes that he had and the decision making, but also dropping back 58 times for a rookie quarterback in his second start is asking way too fucking much. Like, it really is. What are the positives here? What are the positives? Negative. Myles Garrett, 3rd straight game. You're supposed to be the best defensive player in the league. 3rd straight game with no sacks. 3rd straight game with just 1 tackle, maybe 2 at best. Myles Garrett, here's your money. I don't feel bad for Myles Garrett whatsoever. For anybody, he feel bad for Myles Garrett. Look what they're doing to Myles Garrett. Myles Garrett should have stuck to his fucking guns. Snap until you trade me. So for that question by, I believe it was, I know Mary Kay tweeted it out, but I think Mary Kay asked the question of how much do you have to like will despite the fact that you're losing? And he's like, well, it's a lot or whatever it may be. Right? As a matter of fact, give me a second to load this tweet up. And and here's the thing, right? Now we got Jog Thornhill talking mess to Cleveland Browns fans because he tweeted, jogged my ass out of Acrisure with a dub. Jog, you didn't do nothing in the game. Like, your team won, you were a part of a winning team, but you didn't make a major impact in the game. Let's be honest here, and you still are jogging. Let's see. Look at this statistic right here. Fewer than 20-point games in the first 6 games of the season of the last 15 season. For teams, the Rams did it in 2011, the Jaguars in 2014, and the Browns did it in back-to-back years. What a great job. Woo-hoo. All right. Mary Kay tweeted out, ask Myles Garrett if it is harder and harder to dig deep and keep pressing on amid the losing like it was for Joe Thomas. His answer, yep. It's the same way about Joe Thomas. I don't feel bad for Joe Thomas. Joe Thomas decided to stay here. Joe Thomas had a chance to get traded to a Super Bowl winning team, literally a Super Bowl winning team, and he decided to stay here. So do I feel bad for Joe Thomas? No. If you know what the fuck, like, okay, you feel bad for a motherfucker if, like, Myles Garrett, prime example, he gets drafted here, right? That's not his choice, right? Signs here, not his choice. When he's re-signed his first contract, it looked like the Browns were doing something. Like we were actually going to win. So it made sense for him to resign. And then when it didn't happen, that's when you feel bad. Now, don't feel bad for you at all. I don't feel bad for you at all. You should have stuck to your guns. Because if you decide to take this trade or to go on a route to trade, then guess what? Who's gonna decide to take that contract now? Right? You had a more team-friendly contract to where when you got traded, a team could justify, you know what, this is cap friendly. We can re-sign him to a big deal. You already signed a big deal. So now who's going to trade for you? The same way with people claiming, oh, let's trade Deshaun Watson. Who's going to eat up that contract? We got to think about things when it comes to these trades. So this is ridiculous. Again, this is a therapy session. He didn't stick to his words. I'm going to do this, right? This is going to end up lasting an hour. I didn't think it was, but this is because this is a therapy session. This is more of a therapy than a review. This is what Myles Garrett said for verbatim in his statement. As a kid dreaming of the NFL, all I focused was the ultimate goal of winning a Super Bowl. And that goal fuels me today more than ever. My love for the community of Northeast Ohio and the incredible fan base of the Cleveland Browns has made this one of my toughest decisions in life. These past 8 years have shaped me into the man that I am today. While I've loved calling this city my home, my desire to win and compete on the biggest stages won't allow me to be complacent. The goal was never to go from Cleveland to Canton. It was always to compete and win a Super Bowl. With that in mind, I have requested to be traded from the Cleveland Browns. And then Jimmy Haslam opened up the bench truck, and all of a sudden, turning Andrew Berry's words around didn't fucking matter. All of a sudden, being complacent was A-okay because you got that money. And then you go on like, well, hey, you resigned. Why did you resign? And they're like, you must like the quarterback situation. He's like, yep. Well, look, Myles Garrett. Looky. I don't feel bad for you at all. I'm wearing your jersey. I'm wearing the 95, and I don't feel bad for you at all. You're one of my favorite players, but I don't feel bad for you. You can be one of my favorite players, and I still don't feel bad because you should have stuck to your words. You just should have stuck to your guns. And what I will retire before playing another snap here because I want to win a championship. I want to go to Detroit. I want to go to Washington. I want to go to Philadelphia. I want to win. I want a chance to win. You know, just as well as everybody in this city that you call home knows that the Cleveland Browns is nowhere near ready for this. They're nowhere near ready for this. So Kevin's not the guy. You can question Andrew Berry's not the guy. Paul DePodesta is destroying this organization that's already destroyed. We know about Jimmy Haslam. But we know about this stuff. Like, this is shit you already knew and you decided to stay. So for that, we don't feel sorry for you. Anybody that feels sorry for you did not see that statement. And I feel like Mary Kay probably feels sorry for you by asking you that softball ass question. By asking that softball bullshit ass question. I don't feel bad for you, dude. I don't. I don't feel bad for any player that has resigned with this team since 2023. After 2023. Is ridiculous. And all this tanking that this team did 8 years ago was to compete for today. Guess what? The Browns are going to tank again. They're going to tank again. Is about to happen because they are focusing on this stadium. They're focused on 2029 and beyond. And who knows? They might not even tank correctly. But they're tanking. Like and we kind of said this last year when they traded Amari Cooper. We kind of said this last year when they traded for Jerry Jeudy. Like, they have not made plays or decisions that warrant a team that thinks they can at least compete for a wild card spot and maybe make a dark horse run. They haven't done that. So the Browns are the Browns, and the Browns will stay the way they are. But it's to the point where if you fire Stefanski, you got to fire Barry. If you fire Barry, you got to fire Stefanski. And really, they need to fire Paul DePodesta because it'd be crazy if DePodesta lasts as another general manager and another head coaching combo. We got it wrong. And it's time to admit that Kevin Stefanski's 41-49 record with this team, we got it wrong. The 2-time coaches of the year, no disrespect. Usually when you say that, it means disrespect, but seriously, no disrespect. It doesn't matter. When you're 4-19 over the last year and a half, it doesn't matter. And that second coach of the year is questioning because like it should have went to D'Amico Ryans, way he turned Houston around. So it doesn't matter, right? Yes, you got us to the playoffs twice. You're 0-2 in the playoffs. I've said this once. I say it again. I will always say it. You didn't win that playoff game. That was Mike Prefer and Atlas Van Pelt. That was not you. You were at home sick on COVID. We probably would have lost that game with your leadership, bro. We probably would. We saw with Kansas City. We saw with Houston. What you do in the playoffs. And will I sit back and will I celebrate it like I celebrated like when we fired Hugh Jackson? No, I won't. Like I'll celebrate it a little bit, but it's like damn, like we thought you were the answer, and you're not. Like you're not. And this team is tanking again. We are Browns fans, whether here in Cleveland or throughout this entire country or throughout this entire world. I don't know where y'all watching from. Man, I appreciate everybody for watching. I really, really do. Like, we got 11 people watching right now. This is the most I had at one time. Like, this is amazing. But get ready. Strap in. Get your seatbelt on. Get ready. Buckle in. Get comfortable. Get settled in. Get your drinks. I got tea in this cup. Get your water. Get your popcorn. Get your dinner. Get your breakfast, lunch, and dinner. Because the Browns are tanking. So get ready for another round of mental stress, for emotional stress. To be honest with you, watching these games and watching the Browns, it has to physically stress us out too. Not in the way you would normally think, but this is physically taxing, right? Because you get that feeling throughout your body. You get that you got to watch this stuff. So like, get ready because it's happening, and it's happening sooner than you realize. They hinted at it last year. They damn sure are doing it this year. Like, it's just get ready. I'm not going to sugarcoat it. I'm not going to bullshit it. I will not do that to you guys. For everybody that has stuck with the Nosebleed Show, that has been in the Nosebleed section since the very beginning, I have kept it straightforward and honest with you guys as the best of my ability, based off of my opinions, based off of my assumptions, based off of, granted, we're not doing conspiracy theories out here. We're doing this based off the information that is given to us and trying to decipher it and come up with a honest, opinionated base without BSing. The Browns are tanking. Straight up. And it's going to be hard. It's going to be difficult. It's going to be sad. It's going to be tragic. But Browns fan, I'm talking to you. I don't give a fuck about none else. I'm talking to my Browns fans, to the ones that take this shit serious, that's whether they're optimistic or like me, the opposite of optimistic, just stoic and just don't care, but continues to sit down and watch the game and cheer this team on. And go through all the disappointment, all the anger, all the upset, every emotion it means to be a Browns fan over and over and over again. Because I'm not an optimistic Browns fan. I'll be the first one to admit. I'm the Browns fan that people question if you're a Browns fan because you're not optimistic about it. Because I don't look at the Cleveland Browns with rose-colored glasses no more. Every now and then I do. But I will always represent this team. I will always represent this city. Because I love this team and I love this city. But that being said, we've been through this. We went through this with Hugh Jackson. We went through this with Mike Pettin. We went through this with Eric Mangini. We went through this with Rob Chudzinski. We went through this with Romeo Cornell. We went through this. We went through this, and I don't know why I can't remember the guy before. I know his name is Brian something. I don't know why I can't remember. He used to coach Miami. He came here. He was right before Cornell, right before Romeo Cornell. Butch Davis. We went through it with Butch Davis. There we go. So we've been through this. We've been through it all. And we're going to have to go through it again. So here's what we're going to do, right? We are going to talk about these games. Win, lose, draw, whatever it may be. Win, lose, draw, whatever it may be, right? We're going to talk about this. We are going to ride and die for our team. But these are going to become therapy sessions. When there's a loss, they're therapy session. When there are wins, we're going to celebrate and be victorious and be happy and cherish and enjoy winning, because the wins come few far in between. They don't happen often. We're not Pittsburgh. We're not Baltimore. Hell, we're not even Cincinnati, where they get a winning season every once in a while. We're the Browns, the laughing stock, the jokes. To be honest with you, some people will put us as worse than the New York Jets. A lot of people will, actually. But we need to be together and stay strong through this, because this is tough, because guess what? We just went through this. And it wasn't like it was continuous losing, right? Here's the difference between pre-Hugh Jackson and post-Hugh Jackson. When Hugh Jackson came here, and it was very clear that we were tanking, we were used to the losing already. There was no hope because we were losing already. But this, although we've been through this is, I promise you guys, because it's already starting to happen with me, this is going to feel different than any other time, because unlike previous times, maybe a little bit Butch Davis, Romeo Cornell, whatever it may be, but really let's go over the last 18 years, right? Let's go last 18, 14 years, right? 18, 17 years. So let's go 2008 and on, right? Like, we ain't gonna talk about 07, where it was like, okay, we did 07. There's some optimism, but it's also the Browns, right? This is different because there was hope here at one point, and not just false hope, like legitimate hope. There was hope of not even just making the playoffs, but winning a Super Bowl or competing for a Super Bowl. That hope is gone. So we have to deal with a new emotion of there is no hope. It's going to feel great, you know what I'm saying, if they, turn this thing around, make the playoffs, and now everything's different. But what are the odds of that happening with this team? Like, there's some talent on this team. There's some guys on this team. But what are the odds with this coaching staff? That includes Jim Schwartz. That includes, and I like Jim Schwartz, but that includes him. We're going to have to get through this. We really will. So let's go ahead and let's go through the comments. We got more than just Jeffrey. You ain't the only one this week, Jeffrey. You ain't the only one like you've been the last couple of weeks. So I appreciate it. Let's go, Jeffrey. I don't know why I said Jerry. Jeffrey, you're not the only one, Jeffrey. Not this week. Kevin sucked so bad. Jerry Jeudy looked good today, but the quarterback couldn't get him the ball. I thought this was, for what it's worth, Jerry McDrop's best game, but he still had a bad game. And Dylan Gabriel had a bad game too. Jeudy wide open in the end zone. Dylan couldn't get him the ball. Dylan Gabriel was getting out players, hit hard. He threw it high in the middle of the field. Yeah, hospital balls. Classic hospital balls. And it doesn't help that you don't have a good offensive line and you're rushed. So that doesn't help neither. Let's see. We always abandon the run. I heard somebody say Kevin's mindset is if we are not getting 6 yards per carry, we abandon the run. That I believe, but then also is like, what was that? That was 2021, maybe 22, where we had Kareem and Nick Chubb, and both of them, like our entire team's running game, they were averaging 5.8 yards per carry, and Kevin Stefanski was still abandoning the run. Like, there were times where Chubb almost had the rushing title and would have had the rushing title at the last game of the season just for Kevin Stefanski to completely abandon the run. So that I can somewhat agree, somewhat disagree with that because it was at one point we was averaging like 5.8 yards per carry. Assure, I think that's how you say your name. As a Steelers fan, I feel your pain. He's got to put better offensive schemes to get these players open. You also say y'all defense are monsters. They're on the field for too long due to lack of offense. That I agree with. Um, I'm not gonna. I don't know what. And maybe you're talking about when you guys had Matt Canada as your offensive coordinator. Maybe you feel that pain, but the constant losing, the constant like with Pittsburgh is like Pittsburgh is just mid, right? Like they get off to these hot starts and then like they cool off like just as fast as they got hot, they cool off just as much faster or 2 times faster. And then they turn around and don't win a playoff game. But like there are Browns fans out there that would take y'all position over watching just like pure incompetence. But like as far as the Matt Canada thing, as far as offense scheme, like I get it. But I was one of the few like watching you guys because I pay very close attention to Pittsburgh because like I know a lot of people that are Pittsburgh Steelers fans, and then on top of that, like when the Browns are not playing or when the Browns are playing on another station, like if the Browns are playing on Fox and you guys are playing on CBS, they showed CBS, here. You would get the Pittsburgh game out here too. So we see a lot of Pittsburgh games more than we want to admit. But I never really blamed Canada fully. I thought that was also it had to do with them having Kenny Pickett and asking too much on Kenny Pickett as well. Jerry Judy was getting separation. He had one bad drop today. The rest were inaccurate passes. I thought he had a good day. Judy had 2 drops, but there were also like 2 more. Like it was 50-50 with Judy. Like there were some that were like overthrown, and then there were some where it was like, dude, you got to catch that. Like there was one where I know he like the safety, I think it was Thornhill was coming in and like about to hit him, and he looked at Thornhill or the other safety instead of focusing on the ball. Like that right there, like when you know that you're gonna get hit, you just focus on the ball. Like focus on the ball. It hurts. They say it hurts more, when you see it coming compared to like when you don't see it coming. But like you can see in your peripherals that you can have that sense of feeling like there's somebody there just bringing the ball anyway. Judy always does us dirty. For some reason, Steelers fans find it hard to guard him. Well, I just think like the Steelers, like outside of Porter, like Jalen Ramsey, he's good, but he's not what he used to be. And you guys rely on Porter Jr. a lot, and I think Judy is faster than Joey Porter Jr. That's why I think Judy has a lot of success, whether he gets the ball or not against Pittsburgh. That's why I said like this was his best game, but it doesn't discount the fact that he had key drops, and it doesn't discount the fact that he had a 15-yard penalty. I don't think Jerry Judy is playing bad as people think. He was always inconsistent, and when you're going 45 drive, is not getting to the bathroom to you. Getting the bathroom to you is got to be hard to catch the ball. People that break down the all 22 show that the receivers are open, Dylan's not getting the ball, or he's going into the check down too early. But that's kind of expected. I kind of broke down on that first comment, Jeffrey, but that second one, that's kind of expected to. That's kind of expected, like for especially like rookie quarterbacks. Like I know Gabriel had that issue in college as well. When I watched his all 22, like he had a major problem. Like the thing with Gabriel is like if he feels any sense of pressure, like he has a issue like staying strong in the pocket. That's why he fell to the 3rd round was because of his pocket presence. But like especially like rookie quarterbacks that kind of get asked or told to like go to the check down with by their coaches, they're gonna do that. A lot of rookie quarterbacks go to their check downs too soon. It's just a part of growing in the game. Like if Shador got out there, Shador's going to go to a lot of his checkdowns early on, especially with this offense line because his offense line is bad. You kind of have to rely on your checkdowns. The problem is we don't have wide receivers that catch off these checkdowns sometimes. Barry is sweating more than Ray Farmer right now. I don't know. Barry was a GM. He also said, I'm keeping Andrew Barry and Schwartz. Everybody else is going. I think if you fire Stefanski, you got to fire Barry, and if you fire both of them, everybody got to go. I don't see Jim Schwartz keeping the job. Like again, and Jeffrey, you brought this up last week of Schwartz being the interim head coach. Again, that takes away from this defense. because he has to focus on everybody now. So it takes away from this defense. So therefore, I would not want to keep. Oh, I would not want to make like it would make sense because he has the head coaching experience with Detroit, but we will lose that edge on defense. Like I think we'll gain overall discipline and toughness, but we lose that edge on defense as interim coach. Like what I would like to see if we keep Jim Schwartz, I would like to keep Jim Schwartz here as a bridge head coach. Like we know that he's not here to get us a Super Bowl. He's not here to even make the playoffs, right? But he's here to instill discipline and toughness and the confidence to win games even when they're losing, if that makes sense. Kind of like how Greg Williams was for that short stint. Like Greg Williams was that guy. Very disciplined, gave them a lot of confidence, a lot of toughness. Like, yeah, we had the Freddie Kitchens year, but I feel like Greg Williams here, like, made that 7-game, 8-game stretch, like where we went like 5-3-1, like 5-3-1 or something, or like 5-3 over like the last 8 games with Greg Williams here would be perfect. Like would be perfect. And I can see that being a thing for Jim Schwartz for a year or two. That's what it would kind of place me of because like Greg Williams building that toughness when they were ready to win games when Stefanski got here, they were ready to win those games because it was already instilled in them. That also helps out Kevin Stefanski a lot too. You don't have those guys here anymore. Like you really don't. So I would like to see that kind of same way with JB Bickerstaff with the Cavaliers, like and what he's doing in Detroit now. Like JB is the perfect bridge coach. He really is. Like comes into a bad situation, young team. There's a lot of talent there. They need to get the experience, get the confidence, all that stuff. Does it, and when they're ready to take it to the next level, got to bring in somebody better. I heard that Grant Delpit was starting to do it. Don't think I remember what I was talking about. Barry's a GM until he got a job here. It takes time for people to find talent. The draft he had this year was really good. That's why I think we should keep Barry. I agree. Like I know I say like if you fire Stefanski, you got to fire Barry. It's only because they're married together. It's only because they're married together. Raul said same 5-year plan since '99. He has a 26-year plan. He throws it high over the middle of the field a lot. Yes, he does. I've always thought Nick KA, first time. Welcome, KA. I've always thought Nick Chubb in his prime covered up Stefanski's inability to lead men and coach them at this level. Wow. I have to agree with that. I've never thought of that to just now. Like Chubb's ability to like Chubb was a silent leader. Like he was didn't need him to do the rah-rah speech. Didn't need him to do the rah-rah speech. Didn't need him to go out there and show all this emotion. Like what Stefanski tries to be on the sideline is exactly what Chubb is on the football field. Like he is the guy that can be that. Like not everybody can be a silent leader, and you kind of don't need that from your head coach. Like Chubb. Like if Chubb was to retire, right? If Chubb was to retire, like he would be a great positional coach, right? But I wouldn't want him as my head coach because you kind of need you need a balance, but you need that guy to fire up. Like Kevin Stefanski, not that guy. But he was, Chubb, yeah. His ability to run, to help fix mistakes off the offensive line, off of his running, yeah, that makes sense. Silent leader, let all his work do the talking. Yeah, and if you notice, like, geez, yeah, because shit, ever since Chubb went down, this like outside of that stretch that Flacco got here, like, team hasn't been the same since. That's a good point. Back to Jeffrey Myles Garrett. If you want to win a Super Bowl, go to the owner and say, hey, we got the young pieces, but we can't win with Stefanski. Get that man out of here. Myles Garrett won't do that. Myles Garrett, it's been reported Myles Garrett barely show up to practice on time, so he definitely ain't doing that. He also says, I see it the other way around. We're closer than what people think is just the office. I don't think we're nowhere near close. I think, like, if you're talking about what next year, no, No, there's a reason why the Browns wanted Jacksonville's first round pick. Like, there's a reason why. Whether Barry's here to fulfill it or not, we'll see. KA, new subscriber. I like your straight talk on these matters. Thank you, KA. Boom. I don't have a soundboard, so I'm gonna say boom. New subscriber right there. KA, welcome to the nosebleed section. Thank you so much. 90 clears 95. Matt Durham. Matt, welcome back. I remember you from previous streams. Jeffrey, but we really don't need much. I thought we would at the beginning of the year if your offensive line pieces and number one receiver, a quarterback, and a new head coach. I mean, that I can agree with, but like I said, it's one of those things where, like, going into the offseason, I wanted us to address the offensive line. Like, we needed to address both lines. Like, it's kind of hard to address both, but we needed to address the defensive line, and we needed to address the trenches on both sides of the ball. And that's exactly what we did. Like, at least from a defensive standpoint, with Mason Graham, Malik Collins, Alex Wright, them re-signing Myles Garrett, like, they focus on the trenches. And Malik Collins, bro, oh my good, like, where has he been at? Like, I know we listed the teams he played for, but thank you for having him fall into our lap, because I mean, that dude's a stud, man. I love Malik Collins. Like, he does not get enough credit at all by this fan base whatsoever, by anybody at all. Like, he is so good and so athletic, and he knows ball, bro. He knows ball. Jeffrey, we go 3 or 4 drives without throwing Judy the ball. The reason he played so well last year is because Jameis Winston was getting him the ball no matter what. And I was just having that conversation with my brother. Like, my brother literally said the same thing to me on the phone when we talked after the game. And it's like, he was saying, like, what happened? I'm like, well, one, Jameis Winston loves throwing this to his number ones. Jameis Winston loved looking at his number one wide receiver and go, fuck it, he down there somewhere. Like, he really do. He really do. So that helped. But Jerry Jeudy was still high on the list and drops last year prior to that. So again, how good of a season did he have? Like, yeah, he had 4 touchdowns, had over 1,000 yards. Yeah, it was a good season, but I don't think we're gonna get that consistently, especially with a quarterback. Don't have an offensive line. I thought we had a bad offensive line last year. The thing is, like, Winston knew how to get the ball out. Like, Winston had no issue getting the ball, and the offensive line was at least serviceable. But like 12 different starting combinations, even if we got talented guys on the offensive line, there is no chemistry with this offensive line. 12 different combinations, 6 different starting combinations since the season has started. And it's going to look like that way again because Conklin is out with a concussion. I don't expect them to clear concussion protocol. KJ Leviston sucks. He's not Jedrick Will, human turnstile. And then you still got Cornelius Lucas out there, and he's probably going to end up starting next week as well. Okay, Jeffrey thinking and talking like unicorns and 4-leaf clover exist. Luke Rippler needs to see the field. Need to move KJ to guard. He's good at run blocking. I'm keeping Wyatt Teller. They're gonna trade Wyatt Teller, Jeffrey. They're gonna trade him. He's in a contract year, and I don't think Teller's gonna resign here. So don't be surprised and don't be mad when they trade Wyatt Teller in the next couple of weeks. I believe the trade deadline is what, November 4th at 4 p.m. And it was funny because I was saying, like, when the Browns making these trades this week, I'm like, wow, that fax machine is working. If you guys know, you know what I'm talking about. That's about the only conspiracy theory I have on the Browns is like Sashi Brown. I never got that shit. Like, people laugh at Sashi Brown like this Harvard graduate didn't know how to use a fax machine all of a sudden after all the trades and transactions he was making. I think he did that on purpose. I think I said this before on this channel. I would like to keep Teller, but Teller's gone. I think Teller, like, rather we trade him or he goes somewhere else in free agency. Teller is out of here. KA, I'm currently 53 years old. I'm running out of life. Well, I'm 29, KA, and feels like I'm running out of life too. Like, especially, boy, they have put a lot of stress on me. I've been watching the Browns since I can vividly remember, and even my mother can attest. Like, I've been watching the Browns even before then. Like, my mother has told me, like, dude, you was watching the Browns when you were 3, like, actually paying attention to them. So, but I think my first vivid memory of the Browns, like I said, is the run really run play. Like I test that game or at that moment as me being a Browns fan officially because that is the first moment I can remember like rooting the Browns on. Like, and it's weird because like I can remember watching Brady's first Super Bowl. Like I was 5 at the time, but like nonetheless, like um yeah, that's pretty much it. I started watching football when Johnny Manziel was the quarterback. God bless you. So you've only endured this for like 12 years, but and it's funny because I think I've worn I don't know if I've worn it on the stream yet, but I know I wore it on this channel. I have a Manziel jersey. I got me a Manziel jersey when Manziel got drafted. Like I was so happy that we had got him initially. I was doing the money sign thing and everything, but it is what it is. I said this stream was not gonna be an hour and 10, and it's about to be an hour and 11 minutes. So I think we're gonna I think we're gonna end it here. But you know, the Browns, see, I've been writing since I was 12. Brian Sight, Red Right 88, played in 1980, running out of runway. KA, funny story. My dad grew up in Oakland, California, and my dad is grew up a Raiders fan. So while Cleveland was in misery when that happened, my dad was actually cheering his ass off. I think my dad was about 15 years old or something like that. She's got to think about how old my dad is now. Like, I think my dad was about the same age as you. He was about in between 13 and 16. I don't know why I can't remember my father's age off the top of my head. But yeah, he was a Raiders fan, so he still is, but he kind of rocks with Cleveland as well. He's lived here long enough. Um, but yeah, I think that's it. Let's see, the Kansas City Chiefs and yeah, I had to look at the scoreboard back there. Kansas City and Detroit are on their way. They actually are playing right now. Detroit's up 3-0. Raiders squad back then was a beast. The Raiders were a beast in general. It's kind of sad what's happened to them over the last 25 years because um I have a fondness not just because of my dad, um, but as a child, like I said, I didn't watch. I chose Sports Center and NFL Films when I could get the chance to watch that over cartoons. Like I watched Saturday morning cartoons still, but like when I got sent to my grandmother's house, she had Dish Network, so we had NFL Network, and I watch NFL Films over everything else. So um, yeah, yeah, and not just the fondness of my dad being a Raiders fan, the silver and black, but the Autumn Wind by John Facenda um really stuck to me very much in my core memory as a football fan. So good story. Thank you, Kay. So Kay, thank you. Welcome to the nosebleed section. Thank you all for joining the nosebleed section. This is Tyrell from the Nosebleeds. Wishing you all to have a very good week. The Power Rankings video went up kind of late. It has some issues uploading it, but it should be uploaded. It's uploaded now, so go check that out. The Power Rankings and predictions episode for that. State of the channel address will be coming out this week for sure. I'm going to set time. I've been busy over the last couple of weeks. Going to set the time out to set that state of the channel for anybody that's new. That is, call it the state of the channel, but it's really a thank you, a monthly thank you letter and update, a monthly vlog, whatever you want to call it. It's a monthly update and thank you to everybody, whether they subscribe, just watched, did it everything. Like if they just peeked in for 10 seconds, it's a thank you to everybody. We're gonna talk about kind of go a little bit in depth on the franchise quarterback video, or franchise quarterback video series that's gonna be coming up. That's gonna be around the off season. And I know it's been more NFL content, but I do other content like basketball, baseball. We'll get into the baseball season a little bit, who I think will um go on into the World Series. And then we'll also do professional wrestling. I haven't really been into professional wrestling all like that. But let me know any other comments if y'all want me to do retro wrestling reviews or anything like that. I might start to do those as well and just talk about some of wrestling news or something like that. Kind of want to do more than like over the last month, it's just been Browns videos, power rankings, Browns videos, power rankings, Browns video, power rankings. That's all it's been over since the NFL season started. So we're gonna push out a little bit more content than that as well, because I like this to be a variety show. For everybody watching, K.A., Jeffrey, Raul, Matt, Assure, I think that's how you pronounce your name. Thank you for commenting. Please like, share, comment, subscribe. Thank you all for popping in. If you stay for the whole stream or just popped in for 10 seconds, I want to thank you all so much for watching. This is Tyra from Nosebleeds. Until next time, you all have a great week. Signing off.